Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to part 4, where I'm talking to Ida, who's the doula for pregnant, expectant mothers. Do you have doulas of different faiths? Do people want a doula of their particular faith, or do you not involve faith at all?
Oh, I involve a whole lot more than just faith. So I have a very deep conviction, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, of making sure that whatever we do and as we support families, we create a safe space for them. Now,
Mm.
for many who identify as Christians, right, and they are living that life, they may want to invite a doula who's a Christian into their home. One that we understand, we respect. We are, we can speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I have other families who prefer a doula of color, who they feel is a safer space for them. That's not necessarily religion, but that is a different aspect of feeling
Mm-hmm.
that affinity and that connection. We have also doulas who are from the LGBT community. And for that,
I
we
love it.
also are able to connect. So
Mm.
we have doulas who speak Spanish or different languages, French, Portuguese. We have several. So, really, the question, and that's in my intake form on my website actually, is we strive to create a safe space for all the families we support. What doulas do you feel like you want to work more closely with? And I'll have those for them to check off. Christian is right there. And, and I ask, what is support? How do you want support to feel like for you? Or let
Ah.
me paint the picture of support. And sometimes, it really starts with listening to that person, getting to know them. What
Mm.
is it that they're looking for? And I ask, where are you from? When they talk about their partner, where'd you meet your partner? Where did you meet your husband? You know, people have stories. And I think sometimes rather than putting a story in their space, we want to hold space for them because their space is very unique.
Mm.
If we start putting other people's stories in other people's spaces, then that's what leads to the lens that they need to actually develop on their own. So, oftentimes, if we've had a family that has had a very traumatic birth, for example, the last time, I have to, we have an opportunity to talk to them and say, this time around, it's a different lens. Your body is different. This is a different baby. It's very unique. So, let's make space for a new opportunity, a new experience.
Ooh, I like.
Now, sometimes it's also sharing if there's a connection between us on the phone as I'm getting to know them for the first time, is to be able to say, hey, I understand. And again, I don't center my story in their story, but there's a connection point that we're able to share. And that's how you start building the intimacy relationship because birth is intimate. Anyone that you're going to have in that birth space or even postpartum in your home, it's a very intimate space. It's a very vulnerable space. And
Mm.
sometimes if you're asking someone to be vulnerable, you do it by leading with vulnerability as well, but
Absolutely.
also maintaining the boundaries of helping them prioritize their walk, their experience, their
Mm.
birth and parenting journey.
Oh, that is wonderful. Wonderful. We could talk for hours.
Yes.
Seriously, I love it. If somebody wanted to become a doula, let's say with you, do you need them to live in this area, or do you do training online for other parts of America or the world?
Yeah. Well, I have a preferred training organization that I speak to many people all the time who want to become doulas, both locally, a lot locally, in North Carolina, where I am, but also abroad. I lead a doula consultation group with a nonprofit called Postpartum Support International. Now, many of them are already doulas,
Mm.
but if you were to ask me, how do I become a doula? First of all, learn a little bit about what types of doulas are out there birth, postpartum. And then the organization I recommend is Pro Doula. Pro Doula is one that I've trained with, it's one that I send a lot of people to. They teach doulaing in such a way that's evidence based, but also um, it just really helps you learn how to attune to a family. And it
Mm.
brings in a lot of working with emotional intelligence because anybody can do a hip squeeze and help latch a baby or bottle feed a baby. But when you center the parent, especially that new parent, that new mother, how you speak to her, how you approach her, that's the training that really makes a difference.
Yeah,
And so that's why I do recommend that training organization.
wonderful. Wow. Thank you. That's
Thank
been
you, Kat.
so enlightening, so helpful.
Well, now we can encourage others to look into it for
Abs-
themselves.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been beautiful. Thank you, Ida.